What's going on, my good people? Today we're talking about floor setters and what badges you should use for them. Now, you can skip around in the video to whatever part you need, but it will be broken down into a couple different parts. Now, first, I'll talk about what floor setters are. We'll take a look at what the new badges are so you can get an idea of what badge you want to use for a floor setter. And then I'll talk about a couple different scenarios that you may want to think about when it comes to choosing what badge you want to put your floor setters on. Now, before we get into what a floor setter actually is, if you didn't know, we got a whole entirely new badge system for NBA 2K24, and it's completely different. Badge points are gone. We get access to a lot of good badges, but you don't get to just keep those badges and get whatever badge you want. As long as your player meets the attribute requirements to unlock certain badges, you have access to them, but you have to prove that you can keep using those badges and activating those badges for them to stay equipped to your player. If you're not using the badge or it's not activating as much, you will lose a badge level. So right here is the definition from 2K of what a floor setter is. I'll explain it to y'all what it is, but if you want to read the official definition and how they explained it, here you go. With the badges this year, since we pretty much get access to all of the badges that our build could possibly get, and we're not limited with badge points, we got a bunch of different things that can help with leveling up our badge. So we got performance multipliers, which is also on the screen right there, but it's just something that can help with leveling up our badge. We got something called badge perks, which will help us either speed up our badge progression or stop it from going down as fast. And with the floor setters, you can set a badge at a certain level and it will not drop below a certain level. So for example, let's say we have fearless finisher on Hall of Fame. Let's say you can get that on Hall of Fame, right? You can use a floor setter and you can use a gold slot. You got 18 slots, you got 9 gold, 9 silver. You can use that Hall of Fame fearless finisher and you can put it in the gold slot. So all that means is that Hall of Fame fearless finisher will never drop below gold. So with the badges, like I was saying earlier, they can drop levels. So they can go all the way down to bronze. You can't lose badges, but that joint can go all the way from Hall of Fame to bronze if it's not being used. So, you know, when you make your build, you got to choose your badges wisely and make sure you're picking badges that fit your play style. And you got to worry about all of that when you make your build. While I give y'all these different scenarios to think about when it comes to using your floor setters, I'm gonna have the new badges on the screen. We got 24 new badges in NBA 2K24, and I think we got like a total of 77 badges. We got a ton of badges that we can use. Y'all can kind of read through those and get an idea of what those do and start thinking about what badges you may want to use your floor setters on with these new badges. So the first one being with the badge system, we still got that tier system. So it's kind of been revamped from 2K23. We got S tier being the best, with A tier, B tier, and C tier being the lowest. In 2K23, we had tier 1, 2, and 3. This year, we got the letter tier system with S being the best. So with the floor setters, it would make sense to use a floor setter on your S tier badges. The S tier badges are going to be the hardest ones to get, but they're going to be the fastest ones you can lose. C tier is the lowest tier, and those are going to be the easiest badges to get and the easiest ones to keep. So it makes sense to use a floor setter on your S tier badges because these are the hardest ones to gain and keep at that level. But let's say you have post phase phenom in your S tier badge. Let's say you got it on Hall of Fame, but you're cold at post phase and you always activate the badge. It doesn't really make sense for you to put that in a floor setter spot if you're really good at activating it and it's a badge that you're gonna use all the time. You know what I'm saying? Like, you could use a floor setter on it just for that security if you feel like you really need it. But if it's a badge that you have no problem activating and you use it pretty much every time you play a game, then you don't need to take up a floor setter spot with that badge. You could use it on something else. Now, another thing that you can think about is it may also be another badge in a lower tier that you may not be good at activating, but you might be able to get that badge at a gold or a Hall of Fame, but you don't use it that much and you're not really that good at activating it. You could use a floor setter on that. Even if it's in the lowest tier, which is C tier, if it's a badge that's easy to get, but you're just not good at activating it or you just don't use it, you could use a floor setter on it. So you don't even have to worry about it. You can use a gold floor setter or you can use a silver floor setter and you can set it and forget it. And another thing with the floor setters, these are permanent. So once you pick the badges that you want to put in your floor setter spots, you cannot change it. So you want to think about this long and hard before you put the badges in those spots. So when you get the game, try to test out what badges you're good at activating and get a feel for the badges you may not be so good at activating to get an idea of what you want to use your floor setters on. I wouldn't just put a bunch of S tier badges in the floor setters, because like I said with my example, you may be good at activating a few of them different S tier badges. You're just taking up a floor setter spot for no reason, and you cannot go back and change it. So those are a couple of the scenarios that I think you guys should start thinking about for 2K24 with your badges and which ones you want to use on your floor setter spots. Now, with this tier system, you can also try to finesse it and move some of your S tier badges down to the C tier, just like we got some of our best tier 3 badges in 2K23 in tier 1 with certain builds. You'll just have to get in the builder, mess around with it, see what you can move around, and see what you can come up with. But that'll be my advice for you guys when it comes to the floor setters and what badges to use. Make sure you take a detailed look at the attribute requirements and look at these badges to get an idea and a feel for what you want to do, because we're only a couple days away from the game. So if you haven't started thinking about this stuff, you definitely want to start thinking about it so you don't end up wasting your money and making a mistake with your build or using your floor setter spots on the wrong badges. Really take some time to think about this. But I hope this video was helpful for you guys. If it was, leave a like, subscribe to the channel. We got tons of 2K content on the way, man. We're a couple days away from 24. I'm ready. As always, be sure to stay safe out here, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.